Good morning, everyone. Welcome to our Mind the Moment's Thursday morning gathering, brought to you by Harvard Pilgrim Healthcare and Tufts Health Plan. This is a place where we invite experienced mindfulness instructors to speak with us about what mindfulness means to them and to process as a community how we can incorporate these practices into our daily lives. I'm Suzanne Rowe Palacino, and as you can see, this is not Tara Healy, but our friend and wonderful instructor, Shanti Douglas, who's a mindfulness instructor for Harvard Pilgrim Healthcare. So happy to have you here this morning, Shanti.
I'm so happy to be here, and I can never replace Tara. Absolutely not. So I'm just going to put that out there. She's amazing.
Yeah, and she can never replace you. So, we all, have these fabulous instructors. So we're so happy to have you here joining us this morning. So everyone, just to let you know, anybody that's new to our session, just a special welcome to you. Today, every day we start off with a question for the group, and then we'll have time for a little bit of a chat, and Shanti will share a few words with us and then lead us right into a guided practice. Practice is typically about, I will thank you for the reminder about the chat. The practice is typically about 12 minutes. And there we go. And yeah, so if you go to the bottom of your screen and open up the chat, as I just did, to make sure everybody can comment. You can open up the chat and click the drop-down menu. That will give you an opportunity to click on everyone so people can see your comments as you type them. So as mentioned, for anybody new, there'll be guidance throughout the meditation practice. So no concern there for anybody that's new to meditation. So with that, Shanti, what question do you have for our group?
Yeah. So the question this morning is, what is the joy or goodness you've experienced recently? What is the joy or goodness that you've experienced recently?
This in the chat. I have a really, I have a great one to add to this. I was in New York City this past weekend. Sounds like Brenda did something similar, weekend away with good friends. But I was in New York City and I headed to the train station, and we just thought, oh, we're going to be in the train station, just waiting for the train to come. And there was a quartet of violins and cello and drums playing modern music in like a symphonic manner that just was, everybody was around, just filled my heart with like joy and love of New York City, where those kinds of things you might not see elsewhere. So
that sounds beautiful. Like, talk about a surprise, right? And just drawing you in and feeling that music in your body and having it hold all of your senses.
Absolutely.
Love that.
Yeah, perfect description of it. Yeah. How about you, Shanti?
So I had something just drew me right into a sense of awe. I was sitting in my backyard with a group of meditators. We meet every other week or so, and I have a line of tiger lilies, and all of a sudden I saw this hummingbird, and it had to be at least 3 or 4 inches tall, and it was just going from one to the other and it just stopped me right in my track. It was just so mesmerizing and beautiful, and I've never had a hummingbird before in my backyard that I've noticed. So it was it was just beautiful, and we all just turned and took it all in, and so much life in there, especially since the world can feel so chaotic sometimes, and here is this beautiful being just coming to visit while we're sitting in practice.
I absolutely love that. Yeah, it is rare to see those type of birds, so that's a lovely, it was meant to happen during your stay.
Yeah,
beautiful. All right, so having dinner with a dear friend, That is always fulfilling. Picnic with a lovely friend, beautiful summer day, some self-care. Oh, massage. That is
I need that.
yeah, wonderful. Fostering dogs that are waiting for homes.
Oh, and I love that, their ability to forgive and starting over, trusting new people, right?
Oh, God.
Yeah. Oh,
Lovely land.
that really hits me right at home. That's beautiful. Thank you
Hmm.
so much for doing that. Talk about refreshing someone's life.
Absolutely.
Going to have a major impact.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's great. Showing teens to ride tandem bicycle. Oh my gosh, that
Oh
must
my
have been a
God.
hoot. I love
Oh,
that.
yeah. That must have been exciting. That must have definitely been fun. Talk about something to talk about afterwards, and an experience that is not normal. It's
Hmm.
not in what you see riding down the street.
Yeah.
Great.
Great.
Oh,
Belly laugh with my kids in the car coming back from a COVID test. There's a dichotomy.
yeah, I love that.
That's yeah.
That's
That
wonderful.
deep laugh. There's nothing quite like that feeling in the body of that release of having a deep laugh. So
Yeah.
great stuff. Thank you for sharing, everyone.
Yeah, that's wonderful. And I bring this up because we're still on that path from the last 2 years, and things seem to be just constantly changing and moving, and it can be easy to drop into that place of bigger suffering or that level of uncertainty that we've experienced. But we know, and the research is really clear, to help create a new baseline in our brain, spending more time with those joys and those goodnesses and really drawing them into our experience, into the feeling sense of them, and not just cognitively remembering, oh yes, this good thing happened, but dripping ourselves with how that goodness feels creates a difference in our brain over a period of time, so that now our baseline, when we look at the world and look at our day, will have a more uplifting effect. So that's one of the reasons why I wanted to bring that into our practice today. I think that's really important. I know it's been really important for me, to help keep the ground and keep more than just afloat.
Mm.
Yeah.
No, it's like the body remembers those joyous times, and it's like we're retraining the brain to think that way.
Exactly.
Important.
Yeah.
Hmm. Sounds good. Well, let's go into practice.
Yeah. So let's have a little bit of practice here. So I'm going to invite everyone to just, readjust your posture if that feels right for you. I always like to just rotate my shoulders back and around, or make some slight movements to bring that connection to the body, which says, hey, I'm right here. I'm not just up here in my cortex. I'm in my body right now. And having that spine be a little bit taller, and feeling that stability of your seat, or if you're standing, feeling the stability of your feet underneath you. And I also invite to relax the belly. This is a nice way to automatically harness um, that ease response within the body, that safety response within the body. A relaxed belly. I can breathe deeper. I'm right here. Everything is okay in this moment. And as you relax the belly, you may notice the breath automatically deepening, gaining a sense of being settled in your seat or in your stance. And taking a moment right now to notice what it is like to be here, right now for yourself. Noticing your presence. And to offer a sense of appreciation for you and your practice and your dedication to yourself, because it is, a dedication every time that you come into this space, in this room. It's an act of self-care. You might even like to place a hand on the heart or a gentle smile on the face as a way of recognizing yourself, the joy and the happiness and the opportunity to being right here. The gift of your presence to yourself. And now I'd like you to connect back to the time of that joy or happiness or that goodness that you've experienced of late. Or it could just be something else. Maybe there were many things to choose from. Just taking a peek back at one of the times that you felt joyful or happy, or you felt that goodness or gladdening. And as much as you're able to, transport yourself back to that time and that place. And you might see the picture of what happened. You might hear the sounds, the laughter, the giggles. And feel in your body the senses of what it was like to be with that joy and that happiness, that goodness, that gladdening. And as much as you can, staying with that feeling sense and allowing it to wash through you completely into all of the cells. Feel that opening, that warmth in your heart, the smile in your body. And these feelings can be fleeting. And while we don't want it to get hard around them, to draw them back in, like pulling them back in, it's more of an invitation to continue to experience the feeling sense, the sensory, the embodiment. And as that experience might pass, notice any shift or change or happening in yourself right now. Is there a greater sense of ease or stability? a sense of connection, a sense of oneness. And now perhaps choosing another time or place or event that felt joyful, had an aspect of happiness or goodness. There's such a variety. Maybe observing a couple walking down the street holding hands, or a sunrise, a sunset. The feeling of a cool breeze on a hot day, or the quenching of a glass of cold water. Just bringing to yourself right now another experience of goodness. And again, allowing yourself to really drop into that feeling and that embodied sense, which can often be so fleeting. We'll stay with it in a very easeful and flowing way. And again, noticing the effect that this embodied recollection of goodness, of joy has for you. How we can have it more, a bigger part of our sense of self and our inner stability, that ground, that steadiness. It's so important as the life is ever changing. And imagine yourself for today carrying this embodied sense of joy and goodness throughout your day. Knowing that at any time you can simply drop into a memory, an embodied sense of goodness when life might feel difficult or raw or uncertain. There's always this stability within yourself to come back to. It's your true home. And then generating another smile of appreciation and gratitude for yourself, for this practice that you've engaged with. And then taking the next 3 breaths to come back to this virtual space with all of us here. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, Shanti. Yeah, a really, really important practice that you've reminded folks about. And, it comes to mind when you were mentioning this, that, there might be folks that are having a really hard time finding those moments for whatever reason. And, we all go through that. And it brought to mind the concept of sympathetic joy that some on this Zoom might have been part of a discussion about that in the past, but that we can, if we're not able to find those moments for ourselves at a particular time, we can find it through other people. And it brought to mind over the weekend, it was very, very hot in the city, and someone had opened up a fire hydrant, and it was just spurting out this just amazing water. And these kids could not have been happier. I mean, just could not have been happier. So, there are circumstances where we can take in other people's joy, and that can, maybe not feel the same, but still bring in a sense of positivity and, well-being and good feeling. So
Thanks so much for sharing that. I truly appreciate that. And, I find for myself that I get, when it's difficult to cultivate some of these emotions or even to remember, when I can reach out to someone else, that can be very helpful, either, offering something, doing some volunteering, supporting one another, or even just, as you said, people watching is great. There's so many good things that are happening underneath. It can be basic as holding the door open or just greeting someone as we're walking down the street. I used to, in where I live in Concord, New Hampshire, before COVID, I used to do free hugs twice a year and go down the street. Yes, I have my sign and everything. Yes, I am that person that was doing that. And it can seem really light and easy, but I can't even tell you how many whispers I got in my ear of thank you so much for this. Like, I haven't been held, I haven't been touched in like years, and it just made such a huge difference. And we don't know the change the impact that we're having on others, even just with our basic kindnesses and joys, or sharing some of our joys. So that's what that reminded me of.
Yeah, what a lovely thing to do during this time. It's just, like you said, it's
now it's free virtual hugs.
Yeah. Yeah, no, I understand that. you know, we have to feed off one another many times with what's going on in our lives, just to kind of bring some of that positivity in.
Mhm.
So I really appreciate the practice. I appreciate you being here, Shanti, and um, it's great to have these wonderful reminders during the ups and downs of life.
Yes. And I'm not able to put it in the chat to everyone, so maybe you could. It's thegoodnewsnetwork.org. I don't know if anyone's familiar with it, but if you want something on your news feed, because that's the, you know, we want that good news feed, especially in the morning, for inspiration, for like, yep, we're okay, it's okay, you know, that moving forward, which doesn't mean that we dismiss the things that are coming up or the challenges that we're experiencing, but we, you know, nurturing ourselves and fortifying ourselves. So the Good News Network can be a great thing to have in your pocket on your feed every morning.
Yes, I found that a number of years ago, and I just think it's fabulous. There's news that you might not, you know, that's kind of, it's not the headline because it,
No.
for whatever reason. And, you know, the gentleman that we brought this up on one of the other webinars, the gentleman who was in Central Park, who was wrongly accused of attacking a woman, ended up, you know, the bird watcher ended up
Yeah.
getting his own bird watching show on National Geographic or something. And I was like, you know what, that is just the most lovely news I could hear, and you
Yeah.
know, I've heard in a long time. So
Yeah.
those
Yeah,
little,
we need that.
yeah, absolutely. So thank you for sharing that.
Yes.
Nice to be with everyone this morning. And Shanti, are you back with us next week?
I am. Yes. So come on in on Tuesday, and we'll have some more practice. That would be wonderful. And if you attend, if you're going to attend on Tuesday, we'd love to have you back. And, you know, over the next few days, you know, the invitation is what's working well here, or what little bit of joy do I feel, or what is creating that sense of awe. Maybe I'm not the only one with hummingbirds in my backyard that come in occasionally. Yeah. So we look to that, and I think that really helps us.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Thank you again for being here, Shanti. And thank you to everyone for joining. So we will, wishing you a good weekend, and we'll see you on Tuesday.
Take care. Bye.
Bye.